working. There it is. It's working. Finally. Okay. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods. And today, boy, I tell you what, literally, you would try to start this at right at 8 o'clock. Even though we, try to do a little show prep around here. I mean, literally just got done scribbling down stuff here to finally get everything done. So, man, oh man, we have a complete, fully packed, holy cow show for you here today. So, you know what, we'll get into that in just a second. Wait for people to kind of show up and join us, as it were. Let's see. There we go. So let's just go ahead and get started here real quick with a kind of, I suppose, a little bit of a follow-up. The good news, the great news, actually, if you're in the market for a new iPhone, congratulations. The iPhone 12 is now $100 cheaper than what it was the other day. So go ahead and probably check that one out. Bear was kind of checking out the brand new iPhone. Horribly named the iPhone 13. Why would you name a 13 for any reason? Usually in the buildings you skip that floor. It goes from 12 to 14 or something like that. I don't know. They should have just skipped over it. Really not. We were talking about the how do we put this? The CSAM stuff that they were trying to do there, and holding off on updating and all that sort of stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about that because unless you just want to give Apple your money for no apparent reason, just go ahead and skip the brand new phone. You really don't need it. There's really not that much that's Bear could say that's new and improved. It's a little bit faster. It's got a screen on there that can change its refresh rate there, so you get a little bit better battery life. And the camera will allow you to take a picture in slightly darker environments. So, or if you want to spend gosh, I don't know. The Pro is $1,000, so I forget how much it is if you want to get a terabyte of data on your phone there, or memory, I should say. You can do that. Otherwise, save your money. Go find somebody that's silly enough to go buy the new 13, and maybe get a phone off of them, or if you want to get a brand new one, you can do that as well. Either way, you're saving yourself a whole bunch of money there, and a very kind of disappointing, very kind of dull showing there from Apple. A grift. That's right. We'll get into the grift. Hey, good to see you, Miguel. Good to see you here. Yes, we will talk about the grift. Bear needs to, I guess, start off right away here. Right away. Nothing against any of the Fandom Menace fans out there. A lot of Fandom Menace fans out there. Plenty of great people, good folks out there. Enjoyed, made some friends over the years with, people out there. Nothing against them. Just kind of, we're going to talk about a Fandom Menace. Yes, Fandom Menace. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the grift going on there in the Fandom Menace. And holy cow, what a beclowning. Bear was actually going to talk about that on a Saturday. We kind of shied away from that just a little bit. And, hey, good to see you here, P-Money. He says he was just hanging out with hashtag KickNaster and Jason. I'm sure Jason Robinson, I'm trying to remember, Jiminy Crickets. Took Bear a second, but he had it there. Okay, well, very good. Well, say hello to Jason for Bear. And KickNaster. Go ahead and just KickNaster there. All right. Well, anyways, enough of this Apple talk. We've actually got. We'll get into the Fandom Menace here in just a minute, but you know what? We're a CG channel here, so let's go ahead and just kind of talk about some Comicsgate stuff here. And we've got some good stuff coming up here, including. Let Beer find it here in just a second. He'll do the thing with the thing, and oh yeah, okay, there we go. I clicked on the wrong thing, but we're talking about Black and White from another great Bear. He's talking about art RT Bear. That's right, the good old RT Bear. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, it made Bear cry a little bit last night, seeing Art on Uncle E's show the other night, or last night. He took away his salmon. Took away RT Bear salmon. Bear, I mean, I just lost it at that point. He couldn't. He just couldn't even. Couldn't even. So P-Money says, I kicked Nasser whether you ask me to or not. Well, there you go. It's tradition. I mean, at this point, it's actually not anything against Nasser. I mean, it's pretty much tradition to kick Nasser. If Nasser were to come in here, we would have to kick him. Doesn't even know how to kick people, but there's there you go. All right. Anyways, let's get right on into it. 11 by 17 commission. Bear checked on this. It's already gone. So maybe if you're very lucky, maybe you can email Art and maybe he might do another one, something like that. So let's see. Asking me to kick Nasser is like asking me to breathe. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Bearman, you saw California Fuad. U.S. is now a third world country. I'm sure you're talking about all the white supremacists over there in California who chose a white man over a black man over there and completely showed the racism there. So there you go. Yes, California. What can you say about California? California really needs to be split up into like 3 or 4 different states there. They just got too much going on. Bear would even say split up Florida. We can just kind of saw off right about maybe about Orlando or Ocala area and just kind of let the other just kind of drift out there into the sea, just out there into the sea. So everybody is Bear tries not to get too much into the downer stuff there. But I tell you what, they pulled off a steal once again. Yes, indeed. So, anyways, shifting back here, we're going to talk a little bit about RT Bear. He added this 11 by 17 commission. It's already gone, but he says, if you haven't, or excuse me, I haven't taken commissions for the last couple of years, so here's a chance, which is already gone, to get an original penciled and ink character of your choice done on 11 by 17 Bristol board. And he says he can't wait to doodle it for you, and go back to the, oops, there we go. There she is. This is white from black and white there, so that's some neat stuff. He goes on, he says, let me see it here. We're now on week 3 of the campaign. We still have a long way to go to meet our new goal of 1,000 backers. I believe these characters would like to share the black and white story with even more comic-loving people. Yes, indeed. So please help us get the word out with plenty of shout-outs. And these concludes. Thanks, guys. Pamela and I deeply appreciate you all. I mean, we really know who puts on the pants on that relationship there. Bear kids. Pamela's great. Pamela and I deeply appreciate you all. With your help, I know we'll reach this goal. Yes, indeed. P-Money says that he liked Art's black and white comic. It's a very nice. It is. Basically, he was going to just kind of do a I guess, a reissue, and then just kind of took off and did basically an entire remaster. I think it took him longer than even he thought about that. One of the things, Bear never got around to it, but he did get both the 90s version and the recent version here of black and white, and always kind of wanted to do kind of a compare and contrast to it. So just kind of some of the different stuff. Really wish... gosh, I'm trying to remember her name. It was Tag. Taylor, I'm trying to remember what the G stands for. Anyways, she was a really good, I believe, writer on that. So, did a really good job, especially kind of boosting out a little bit of the character White here. So, I thought she was actually a very good character there. So, anyways. I did like that black and white had 3 signatures on it. Yeah, Art, probably Pamela, and then I believe Tag as well. So there you go. Taylor, I want to say Grasso or something like that. Beryl, that's losing in Bear's memory there, but there you go. Some good stuff from RT Bear. Go check that out. Some good stuff. Unfortunately, the 11 by 17 one is gone here, but plenty of other good stuff to check out from the old the old art T Bear. That's right. Actually, one of Bear's first box openings was Art's Oodles of Doodles. Oodles of Doodles. Some good stuff. All right, the next one. Let me see if I can get to it here. Bear with Bear. Get off of that. And you click. Is it, which one is it? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Oh, there we go. Let me get something to drink here. There we go. This is from Dan Fraga. It's what is it called? Black Flag. Black Flag. I tell you what, Bear will get it. Bear will get it here eventually. Anyways, he goes on. He says, "Happy Saturday. Hey, this is a double pager. Presented a lot of challenges. Even though it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to draw, and I feel like the results are worth it, and I hope you dig it too." And he's got it here. Bear will bring it up here. There we go. Let me just kind of, oops, not that one. Oh, come on, Bear, come on. Anyways, there we go. There it is. Some neat stuff there from Dan Frege. Let's see, does he say anything else here? He's got a time lapse of this on his YouTube channel. So there you go. Actually, Bear was kind of recommending that to Matt Cosson the other day. So yeah, if you're out there and you're doing some artwork, and you might be filming it or something like that for maybe a live show or just your channel or something like that, hey, go ahead and do a time lapse of it. People kind of enjoy that, especially if you could do one of those shorts as well, about a minute or so. I think that would be a good video for people to do there. So, anyways, he goes on. Please be sure to subscribe to the Fregaboom YouTube channel for exclusive updates and sneak peeks. P-Money says, I guess it will be next show we hopefully get a professional one. There you go. Well, we're slowly slowly working our way there. Slowly working our way. Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. But one thing that Bear wanted. Let me pull up the other one because he did do another email. It was just kind of short. There we go. Just something for the future for some of these artists to kind of take notice of here. Let me bring it back to the other one here. One of the things, Bear is actually working right now on a video about Cyberfrog, the delay and all that sort of stuff. Bear is taking a lot of the artwork that Uncle E had either emailed out or had on the campaign there, and just trying to show some of that as Bear's talking and blabbing on, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but the problem is a lot of times when they send some of this stuff out, especially when he's talking about it being like super detailed like this. I mean, there's a lot of detail going on in basically a two-pager right here. What happens is you take this and you scan it in and basically reduce down the quality. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find the dimensions here. Bear with me for just a second. Here we go. 695 by 565. So, long story very short, you're watching probably in 720. So the resolution that you're looking at right now isn't the highest quality. Well, he had a smaller resolution. Bear had to kind of expand this out just a little bit. So a lot of the detail that's actually in here that you can see is basically lost. It looks like, not that it's terrible or anything like that, but it looks like it's kind of a lot of blended together stuff. So, Bear's glad. Let me. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There it is. So, for example, if you look at the other one here, let me see if I can do a kind of a compare here. There we go. So you can kind of see the difference here, based just kind of in the quality of the guy here. Oops, I'm moving another one, aren't I? Oops, not that one. There we go. That one. So what you can kind of see here is a lot more detail where he was able to kind of get a little bit closer with it and everything. So you can kind of tell the difference, between the two there. I had nachos earlier, so it's coming back to haunt Bear. Anyway, so some of the difference in between there. So long story short, artists, if you're out there and you're sending out some really great artwork that just happens to be very detailed, maybe either do something like this that he did, where you just kind of clip some of that stuff out and are able to kind of send that out a little bit better, or maybe consider doing something like maybe a zip or something that might have a larger file size. It doesn't need to be a TIFF or anything like that, but something with a little bit larger of a file size, so you can actually see a lot of the detail in there. Again, it's kind of one of the things that Bear's kind of running up against with doing some of the video work with the Cyberfrog and Uncle E. He had a number of these black and white Cyberfrog stuff. Uh, if you looked at it in the color, it looked great, but if you just looked at it in the pencils and then tried to blue it up on the screen there, it got. I guess the best way to describe it is a little bit blurry, or it kind of ran together where the resolution just wasn't that good. So, anyways, that would be one thing that Bear would recommend if you're sending out kind of some detailed stuff like that. Maybe consider breaking it up like he did here, or just kind of sending a larger file that people can kind of check out and everything. So there we go. All right. Third, he had the email and everything, but it's just basically check out the book. Titan Mouse of Might. Still trying to figure out what the heck Gary's release strategy is going on here. Not really sure what exactly he's trying to do with some of this stuff, but anyways, the very first, I suppose, what you could call chapter of the Titan book. We did what was it called? The artist edition the other day. So we did kind of a review and look at and of course in the past too, the Titan Mouse of Might book. He's re-releasing it as a colored version. Number one, it really didn't need to be colored. It's fine if Gary wants to do it, but it's fine in black and white. There's really no problem with it. Would have rather kind of seen this instead of it on a separate campaign if he would have maybe waited just a little bit and included this with the Titan #3 campaign. I think that would have been a little bit better. Have that as a add-on, or maybe not necessarily a stretch goal, but definitely an add-on or something like that you can add it to your cart, or maybe as a separate purchase or something like that. Really, it kind of gets it breaks stuff up a lot, where you've got the color campaign over here. He was trying to do a plushie campaign. Probably there was something like a sketchbook or something like that I think Gary was doing. He's talking about Titan 3 and everything. Really needs to kind of bring it down and kind of focus it in just on, let's just say, the Titan #3 book, and have the plushie have the coloring book, stuff like that. Ready to go and be able to do as an add-on, instead of trying to pick, campaign over here, campaign over here, campaign over here. You really want to kind of bring people to one location rather than trying to do 3 or 4 or 5 like that. Let's see. Already read that, P Money, but I'll read it again. I guess the next show we'll hopefully get a professional one. There you go. All right. Well, let's get into the he says, yeah, getting the shipping costs gets tough when Gary does too many campaigns. Yes. Yeah, that artist, if you're listening out there, again, that's kind of another big thing. Is shipping costs out there? They're starting to creep up. I think the last one Bear checked out, it was like $15 or something like that. It used to be like $10. Now it's 12, $15. Bear's waiting on the time when the shipping is going to be more more than the comic book is. It's gonna be interesting there. But yeah, very good point. Very good point there, P Money. Very good point. So, all right, let me get to our main topic of discussion here. Miguel was kind of talking a little bit about it earlier here. Let me see, where am I at? Let me get something to drink. Oh, the Grifters. Yes, indeed. Actually, I need to look that up. Let's beer look that up, just so we're all on the same page and not everybody's trying to, it just means something different. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. A grifter. Let's see. And this is the Wiktionary. The Wiktionary. Let's see. Grifter. Number one, informal, a con artist, someone who pulls a confidence game. So there we go. We're talking about a con artist or confidence game. So what does a, let me just look this up. What's a con art? I should have had this on screen. Sorry, people. Um, let's see. Now, a con artist, a person who defrauds or swindles other after first gathering their trust, a scam operator. So that's what we're talking about here. Someone who gathers trust and then, swindles people, especially out of money and everything. So, uh-oh. Oh my goodness, am I going out? Of course, as soon as I start talking about grifters, Bear's internet goes out. Okay, there we go. There we go. It's still, I tell you what, we have, the worst luck here. We went fine throughout the summer, not bad at all, and then all of a sudden we get like three tropical storms in a row or something like that. So hopefully the bands are staying away here, but you never know. You never know. All right. So anyways, what we're talking about here is basically the sort of what's called the fandom menace. So the fandom menace is a little bit kind of like a sort of a younger brother, cousin of Comicsgate. Kind of came a little bit later. I don't know, about a year and a half later, or something like that. Um, Mainly kind of focused in on. At first, it was the Star Wars movies. Kind of Marvel in general, but not really specifically until maybe the sorts of Captain Marvel situation and stuff like that. Um, Basically kind of the sort of I guess the best way to kind of describe it is a way to a pressure campaign, I suppose, to have specifically I would say Disney, but just kind of any sort of movie company or studio in general there, to make better films. So if Comicsgate started out as people that read the comics and everything and were unhappy with the direction that the comics industry was going, they kind of first started out, a little bit like what we're doing here is, okay, hey, can you not make, whatever it would be of the day, Iron Man into a little girl, you don't want to turn, gosh, who was it? Robin Gay or something? I forget. All this crazy stuff. Turn the male characters into female characters, all that sort of stuff. This is, enough of this. We want you to do something different. They weren't listened to. So Richard C. Meyer, your boy Zach out there decided, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's do our own comics instead of just complaining about it all the time. So you know what? He started up his comic. They wanted to kind of shut it down and everything, but hey, your boy Zach succeeded, doing great work now, and basically what Bear would call Comicsgate 2.0 kind of took off, and Comicsgate kind of became instead of complaining about it, let's do something about it. So they started making books and all this stuff. Now you get a lot of the professionals in the comics industry kind of looking at Comicsgate and looking at the independent creators out there and saying, hey, I want a piece of that. Well, the fandom menace kind of started out a little bit the same way. Started out, complaining about Star Wars and the Solo movie and all that sort of stuff. Really hasn't kind of moved on from that. So, P-Money says, well, if you ask Twitter, every single Comicsgate creator is a grifter somehow. Well, the difference, Bear would say, would be the Comicsgate guys are actually producing something. I mean, you say what you will about, buy my book, that sort of deal. They actually have a book to sell. They're actually doing something. You can, order something there off a line. It might take, a couple weeks, like the latest Battle Maiden one. It might take a couple months, like your normal books. It might take a year and a half to 2 years, sometimes longer, Red Rooster, to get there. But, at the very least, I mean, they are kind of, making something. They're producing something. Other than content and videos, Bear can't really kind of put his claws on, if it were, what exactly the Phantom Menace actually does, other than just basically complain about stuff. So it started a couple, what was it, 2, 3 months back or something like that. It was the Zack Snyder. He was re-releasing or releasing the Snyder cut of his uh, just wonderful and terrific movie, the Justice League there. So some of the Fandom Menace people went on to a live show that was going to have Zack Snyder there, and basically they thought that they were on the ends there. Hold on, people. Let's see. Disconnecting, reconnecting. Oh boy, I tell you what. Every time I start talking about that, it cuts out on me. Uh-oh. Alright. Reconnection successful. Okay, thank goodness. Alright. Sorry about that, people. I apologize about that. Again, we've got rain showers outside, so it might come and go. If it happens to cut out on us, Bear apologizes. Alright, anyway, so where was Bear? Where was he? Anyway, so they went on the Zack Snyder, the Snack Zider, however you pronounce it, show there. He was putting on something that I don't want to get, gosh, don't want to get Bear's claws too dirty here, but he was hosting a charity stream that dealt with suicide prevention there. So the Fandom Menace people were kind of on there and everything, and it basically blew up in their faces because Zack Snyder was basically, the normal thing. You guys are a bunch of hat group people, and wearing your hats out there and everything, and some of the Fandom Menace people there were just kind of charitably dumbstruck, and basically didn't do anything, didn't kind of challenge or anything like that. So they had a sort of be clowning on that. Believe some of the people were probably trying to get in with Zack Snyder, his production company, or something like that. So completely blew up in their face. Instead of saying, "Hey, our bad, we need to do this a little bit better, maybe get a little bit better venting or something like that, not go too far over the edge," they decided to move into the next Marvel movie. So let me just pull that up. You guys might have heard about it. It was called Shang Chi. Shang Chi. How you pronounce it? Apparently, Gary Shipman's favorite movie. Who would have known? Who would have known? Miguel says, technically, CG can't be a grift. They were in first day to tell the people they will, one, make opinions of SJW stuff, and two, make new comics and sell them. So no grift. Boom. There you go. Thank you, Miguel. You should have just said that, or I could have read that, and would have been a lot better than Beer's rambling here sometimes. P Money also says, since we're talking crowdfunding, you don't have to do this now, but I'm confused as to what Substack is that comic creators are now moving to, and what is that? Thought at some point you could help explain. Basically, oh gosh, actually, I had a article about that the other week and never got to it. But basically, Substack is a sort of, I guess you could describe it as Patreon, kind of a cross between Patreon, Indiegogo. Basically, if you're a either writer or journalist, or maybe like a comic creator or something like that, you would go on Substack. People would subscribe to your, I think they call it a stack, or basically your channel. So you're getting monthly money out of that, and you're turning around and giving them content. So you can only find the good stuff on Bear Substack or whatever. Bear doesn't have a Substack, by the way. But that's kind of the sort of idea behind that. A lot of people are just kind of going to that. Excuse me, as a kind of a third-party platform. I don't. Bear doesn't have it right in front of him here, but basically the article was the Substack wasn't servers. It was the, I think, domain name or something like that. Anyways, they were all owned by Amazon Web Service, which is Amazon. So basically, you had that sword hanging over your head of Amazon pulling the plug on Substack at any moment. They could do that at any moment, and Substack would have to go on someplace else there. So, anyways, that's kind of the short version of Substack. I'll have to look up the article and get that. Maybe next time. Let me just write that down. All right, we're Whizbeer. All right, Shang Chi, Shusha, who are the? Hey, Jeff Potts, good to see you here. We're talking about grifters and grifting. So the good folks over there at the Fandom Menace decided to train all their talents and possibly anger as well towards the latest Marvel movie here, Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi, whatever, the Ten Rings movie, Gary Shipman's favorite movie. Um, and basically, we're trying to say that it was going to flop. Let me find it here. It was going to be the Marvel's first flop, and they were just kind of there we go, kind of getting on into it and everything here. So basically, what happened? This gentleman here, what's his name? Simeon Liu, the main actor here. He had a very kind of benign statement in an interview, basically talking about his kind of childhood growing up in China and everything. That basically says, hey, China wasn't that great of a country to grow up in. I'm here in America, and it's a whole lot better. I have more freedoms. That's what's paraphrasing. That's basically what he said. China decided, okay, all right, that's the way you want to go. They banned the movie in China. So the the one movie that Marvel wanted to show to the Chinese audience was banned in China. So basically, they only had the U.S. market, the world market minus China and stuff like that. So of course, you had all your people here. Let me see if I need to find a better picture. See if I can get it up here because I can't read all the names here. Let me see. All right, so here we go. The quartering. We're going from left to right and top to bottom here. Let's see. We got the quartering. Will the Shang-Chi big flop? There we go. Poor guy's crying on that one. The drinker out there says, asks if this is going to be the first flop. Let's see, the geeks and grifters over there, the geeks and gamers. That was the guy that did the Zack Snyder stuff. Geeks and gamers. He's also crying as money is burning. Nerdrotic, Gary over there, asks if this is a flop. Let's see. Heels versus Babyface just wonders if anybody cares about the movie. Let's see. Clownfish TV. I'm not really familiar with them, but they says it will break the box office records, but it will still flop. Let's see. Marvel loses millions is the world class bullshitters. Oh, sorry, P-Money. World class BSers did that. He's not crying in that one. That's good. And then, not really sure, can't really see who the final one is, but also worst MCU box office ever. And, oh goodness, I'm sorry, people. I don't mean to. Oh, okay, it's asterisks out there, but yeah. Anyways, they released all these videos here, and basically, what was his name? Simeon Liu came out and just on his Instagram or something like that, just assembled all the videos that they had here of him crying and all this stuff, and just had the LOL. Hey, you know what? I don't recall what it was. I think it was like 160 million the first weekend. Did fine the second weekend and everything. So it's doing pretty good. It's doing a decent movie, especially not being in the Chinese market or anything like that. Did fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And just in a general sense, I mean, you just want. I mean, forget. Bear doesn't care about the movie. Doesn't want to see it. Doesn't care if it flops. If it does great, that's great too. The bigger thing is that people are going back to the theater, especially with all the Wu Flu stuff going around there. So it's a really good thing that people are actually just going back into the theaters. A lot of the theaters are locally owned and stuff like that. Well, some of them are. So it's good to, help out the local business. They've been out for quite a while and stuff like that's there. So, you want to have people. And also, Bear believes this also was the Disney Plus as well. So, you probably had a lot of people staying home that weren't going to go to the theater or whatnot. So, anyways, it's good to have movies, even if you don't like them, that do well in the theaters because you still want to have theaters around. Because if if all the movies flop and then the movie theaters go under, um, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So, anyways. P Money says he never thought it would flop, and I don't think people have quite given up on the MCU yet. Again, Bear doesn't care, if your entire channel revolves around whether or not a Marvel movie flops or not. It's kind of a everybody's got their niche out there. Everybody's got their little thing out there. But man, oh man, I tell you what, maybe just broaden those horizons just a hair there, just a touch there. So, anyways, Simeon Liu just kind of did this little kind of funny, LOL, haha. Guys, we didn't do that bad. And you know what? If Bear kind of came out with Simeon Liu crying as money was burning around him, making the statement that it was going to flop and it's the end of the Marvel universe and all this other stuff, and it turned out to be not the case. Hey, you know what? Bear's going to be the first one. Hey, you know what? Didn't look like it was a very good movie. Not really interested in any of that sort of stuff. Hey, it did well. Congratulations. Not really going to recommend it, or at the very least, hey, I wouldn't recommend this movie. Go check out. What's the horror movie with the guy in the back of the girl's back or whatever that walks backwards and breaks her bones and oh gosh, I'm sorry. Spoilers, everybody, spoilers. But anyways, people are saying it's a terrible movie like 2/3 the way through, and then the rest of the movie is actually really great. So I don't know. Anyways, there was some sort of horror movie there. Oh, why not just say that? Hey, go check out a horror movie with the Quato and the ladies back there. Check it out. It might be fine. Instead, they did this, and instead of what they say, taking the L, just take the L. Hey, all right, we made the wrong one on that one. Moving on to the next one. Let's do the 23rd video on whether or not Kathleen Kennedy is coming or going. We could do that. Shift the blame there a little bit. No, instead, they decided to invite on a oh gosh, how are we going to put this? A extremely controversial radio talk show host. A radio talk show host. Now, if you've watched, there it is. Won't go there, but there you go. This is just kind of a screen grab here. So, anyways, they kind of do this sort of show of all the different channels that we were just talking about there. So, kind of do the show called Friday Night Tights. Again, just kind of general pop culture. Is Kathleen Kennedy, staying or leaving for the 57th time or whatever? Who cares? That sort of deal. And usually, 9 times out of 10, if anybody's going on there to talk about anything that's sort of political, they kind of shy away from that. No, we're not a political channel at all. We're just here to just talk about pop culture stuff, blah blah blah, SJWs, rah, that sort of deal. Well, anyways, they decided to bring on this a controversial radio talk show host. So we'll just gotta kind of go down the list here. You see Gary from Nerdrotic up there at the corner. The Geeks and Grifters guy. Geeks and Gamers. I don't know if that's his real name or what, over at Heels and Babyface. Quarter Black Garrett. He's kind of, what would you call him? Kind of he's on the Crowder show there. Anyways, you got your controversial radio talk show host. The Quartering. Let's see, I forget, I want to say Ryan. I don't know what his deal is. He yells and people thinks he's a white supremacist, so he kind of tilts into that for some reason. Don't know why. Whatever. Comics Division, don't really know much about the channel, and let's see, what is it? OMB Reviews is one of the other guys that was there. I think he works with the Geeks and Grifters guy there. So anyways, they had this gentleman on there, and of course, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds into there, went completely off the rails and basically went into crazy town. And I don't know, maybe that's what they wanted. It was kind of a little bit cringy, but that's all right. Bear wanted to, because he hadn't really seen any of the Friday night. It usually starts kind of early for Bear, like around 5, 6 o'clock or something like that, and Bear usually catches it maybe a couple hours later, and it's usually past whatever they're talking about, and it's like, yeah, whatever. So Bear doesn't normally necessarily catch all these shows, might watch 5 minutes or something. Oh, okay, whatever, that's what they're talking about, whatever. So, went back, just wanted to be, okay, I'm watching this. I want to make sure that I'm saying the right thing and not just, oh, I watched 5 minutes and just, clicked off of that. Didn't watch, holy cow, didn't watch the entire 5.5 hours. Didn't watch the entire thing. Just the pertinent parts there to be able to comment on some of this stuff. And, well, they kind of, some of the crazy town stuff, golly, there was absolutely, it was fanboy city. No pushback. Bear wrote down two things here that kind of, right off the top. Your crazy talk show host guy here says about 90% of the world's population is going to die in the next 10 years. We just casually dropped that sort of stuff there. No pushback, no questions, no. And all these guys here are nodding along, all this wide stage, oh, yes. So you guys agree, apparently, that 90% of the world's population is going to go away? And bears can, that's fine for Bear. Bear doesn't have more woods for Bear, but, yeah, so again, if you actually truly believe that, you would stop your kind of silly Marvel who's in, who's out, where's Kathleen Kennedy going, and you would start to do maybe a survival prepper channel, that sort of deal, right? Because, if you truly actually believe that sort of thing, and this wasn't just kind of a gimmick that you were bringing this person on, then you would definitely change the way that you go about and do things. The other one was, again, a radio talk show host, well known for some of this stuff here, thought that should I say it? Thought that one of the school shootings a number of years back was a false flag. In other words, it wasn't the kid that went into the school and shot it up or anything like that. It was an elaborate plan from his, he got this from his trusted CIA source, that it was all an elaborate plan. Oh, it was the biggest cover-up ever, yada, yada, yada. Absolutely no pushback. Not even a, hey, what's the name of the CIA guy that's telling you all this stuff? Or, can you give us maybe like a little bit of proof before we go off onto Crazy Town that this was a false flag event? No, nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. So, basically, all these channels went from, well, I can't say everything because I don't know a lot of the bottom row there. I don't know anything about, but you're not talking about politics on this show. Now all of a sudden, all your fans, all your many fandom menace fans out there, they're now going to be associated with the gentleman in the center square here. So again, you kind of go back to what was it? Our guy here with Shang Chi here? What was his name? Simeon Liu. So Simeon Liu now also, in addition to saying, haha, look at the haters, now the haters are also like crackpot right-wing extremists now. And a lot of people in the fandom menace are not even close to that. Hardly even Republican even. Probably just, middle of the road or probably off to the left and just, sees all the craziness on the far left and, I don't want part of that, but, not really political. Now you've lumped everybody in the fandom menace into Crazy Town. And so that's where Bear says, okay, Bear doesn't want to have anything to do with the fandom menace or anything like that. I used to put their hash in some of the videos and stuff like that. They're taking it to the man and all this stuff, holding up against SJWs and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, you don't want to, gosh, can I say it? A quote here from, one of Bear's favorite movies, Tropic Thunder. You never want to go full retard. And, basically that's where they went. You just don't want to go fully the way there. So, anyways, that was just kind of Crazy, crazy situation. P. says, in case you're wondering, I'm still listening. I'm just fixing a light bulb while listening. How many Canadians does it take to screw in a light bulb? Depends on how many moose are there. Depends on how many moose are there. So, anyways, trying to figure out, who said that? Oh, Miguel. Miguel made the great point earlier. CJ. Well, Bear made the same point as well, Miguel, but made the great point. I mean, at least the comic skate folks, in addition to taking it to the, we call them SJWs or whatever, taking it to them, they actually produce a product. Can anybody name the product that the Phantom Menace? What exactly do you do? What's the movie? The Office Space. Where they bring the guy in. What exactly do you do here? That sort of deals. What exactly do you do here? Making videos is fine. The whole. Kathleen can. Honestly, if you're really not into the sort of corporate politics and that sort of deal, again, unless you just really, 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 really care about Star Wars, it really, who's at the top? I mean, it doesn't matter. And Bear says, what do you do here? What do Comicsgate makes stuff. There's plenty of great people in the Phantom Menace that do great video, great graphics, and that sort of stuff. If you guys wanted to, you could go and make your own Star Wars movie. You can make your own Star Trek movie. You could do something like that. You could start a crowdfunding to say, hey, I'm just taking a pic here. I'm Gary from Nerdrotic. I'm a lifelong Star Trek fan. I want to make a quasi Star Trek episode or film or something like that. You don't think he could get money to do that? You don't think there's plenty of people there in the Phantom Menace that would, either help out or, if they've got experience in some way or another, be able to do some of that audio editing, video editing, that sort of deal. You don't think that they could do something like that? Instead we get Shang Chi, big flop, question mark flop. Poor guy, poor guy crying while flames are coming around him. I don't know if that's the best use or talent of some of these people there. So, anyways, that's this kind of Bear's rant on the craziness in the Phantom Menace. I mean, just hold my beer situation. I mean, instead of just hey, this isn't a good look. Let's kind of take a step back and kind of figure out how to do it better and then go forward. Let's see. He gets a smart bulb and it's causing me headaches. Yeah, there you go. There are some very well done fan-made Star Wars videos. There you go, right there. Just go ahead and do it. I mean, if Star Wars is dead, if you keep saying Star Wars is dead, or hell, who cares? Marvel. You don't like the Marvel stuff. Well, pick some, character that nobody's ever heard of, and do a quick thing on that. Hey, there we go, fan-made. I think here's the funny thing, kind of like Comicsgate. If people made a fan-made film and a lot of people liked it and viewed it and everything, you don't think Paramount or Disney or whomever is going to take a look at that and say, hey, you know what? They're taking away a lot of our viewers. Let's do what they're doing rather than, the nincompoops that we're listening to right now. Let's go do some of that. The same exact thing in film could happen with what happened in comics and Comicsgate. Unfortunately, we have a number of the people here. I want to make two exceptions. I want to make two exceptions here. Number one, the Critical Drinker, a great channel. He does good reviews and would recommend his channel. The reason that Bear kind of takes that out is, I believe, I don't know his actual name, but basically the drinker persona there, he's using that in his channel to sell his own books. I think he does fiction or something like that. I wish I could promote the book, I just don't know what it is. So he is using his sort of channel in addition to talking about your SJWs or culture or whatever. He's using that, and actually does a good job of not beating people over the head with it, but using that to kind of parlay and sell the book. So I would take exception to the drinker. I think he does a really good show, and also kind of is able to parlay that sort of stuff. The other thing, surprised Bear. Bear doesn't really listen to, is his name Jeremy? There's too many Jeremys here. The quartering fellow, they were waiting a little bit before your your talk show host gentleman came through, and a really interesting conversation with what he was talking about, how he kind of brought up his channel, sold the channel, did a totally different channel, and then moved on to another, and that was really interesting. Would have rather heard about how to do YouTube and all this other stuff rather than listen to crazy talk show host guy. That was a really interesting thing. So I gotta maybe add an asterisk there on the quartering there as well. He does a pretty good job, and really, I mean, other than some of the George, some of the George situations there, does kind of look at Gary there at Nerdrotic. If if Bear were ever to do a professional show, he would definitely be taking pointers from Gary. I think the Nerdrotic show is a very well made and professionally done show. I think he does a really good job with that. It just happens to be some of these topics here that kind of falls down on it. So there you go. There you go. All right. Anyways, just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that. Beer is not that good. Beer is not that good with Photoshop or thumbnails or anything like that. But almost wanted to put the heads on here, but stopped short of that. Didn't want to go too crazy with it. Anyways, it's a lot of flowers there. A lot of flowers. All right, let me see. Let me go back. See if it's still streaming. Good lord. An excellent connection. How about that? Don't often see that very much. All right, let's see. Do we have time? Do we have time? Yeah, we got a little bit of time here. You come for the comics. You stay for the talk about the Phantom Menace, and then we get into our crazy topic of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year, of 2 years apparently. I don't know. Crying out loud. I tell you what, people. I'll tell you what, let me get, oh, I'm sorry. Wanted to get back, Bear made a mention of this a couple, I think it was last week. Let me get rid of this, sorry people. Get rid of this. 1 second, I'll get there. I'll get there. Need to watch more Nerdrotic shows to be professional here. Alright, let me get that. Okay, so, vaccine stuff. Yay! Vaccine stuff. Isn't that what we all came here for? Bear had this up the other week here as basically what you're looking at, the Wu flu. The Wu flu situation. They came out with this nice little graphic talking about different ages, the fatality rate, and of course the survival rate as far as the Wu flu, and didn't have it right on top. Let me see if I got it here. There we go. There we are. Let me see if I can move it. That out of the way. Trying to figure out how to do this here. Bear will figure out freaking OBS one of these days. Not today. Not today, but one of these days. Anyways, where it came from was this gentleman here, John Iodinus, I believe is the name of it here, out of Stanford University. Just wanted to, we had the data, it was just put in a graphical form, and I just wanted to show people that Bear actually did have the data. He's got receipts. He's got receipts as well. Anyways, they just talk about infection fatality rates. That's what the IFR stands for there. Anyways, just basically saying if you ever get the Wu flu, chances are, especially if you're very, very young, between 0 and 19 there, 99% 0.9973% chance that you were gonna make it out and be a-okay. P-Money finally got the light bulb in. It only takes one Canadian to fix it and three computers. That's right. That's right. I guess that's like the Polak joke. You know, it takes what is it? Five Polacks to screw in a light bulb. You know, the one to sit in the chair and the other four to kind of turn the chair around. There you go. There you go. Bear will be here all week. Make sure you tip your waitress and try the veal. Definitely try the veal. So, anyways, Bear wanted to just briefly talk about that, mainly because you got a lot of the school age kids and maybe college age kids, I suppose. Well, actually, yeah, a lot of the college age kids. Now you got to get the shot there and everything. So really, you don't really again listen to your doctor. Yada yada yada. Don't listen to medical advice from Bear. But anyways, talking a little bit about that, and one of the things Bear actually kind of saw this kind of was a local news story here, but kind of sad here. Oops, let me get back up to the top here. It was out of Milwaukee here. Oops, I don't have it full screen there. There we go. There we go. All right, get rid of that. Oh, no, not that. There we go. Get rid of me. Let's see. 3 out of 5 teens who died, unfortunately, by suicide in Milwaukee County last year cited virtual learning as a stressor. There you are. So, students are back to in-person learning this year, and experts say it's good for their mental health. New data shows that virtual learning had a negative impact on children in Milwaukee County. According to the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office, unfortunately, three out of the 5 children who died by suicide last year told family members that virtual learning was a stressor in their life. And they were between the ages of 12 and 17, which again, we'll just go back to, I took it off of there. Between the ages of 12 and 17, you're going to survive. 99.9973% you're going to survive. So it's really kind of stressing to Bear to kind of see some of that stuff. We're putting a lot of these kids through stuff that they really don't need to have to go through here. So very very sad to see some of that. Let's see. This psychologist says that. More time at home can often mean social isolation for everyone, and school is an important time for children to socialize, especially without a mask. We did the study. I think it was last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, as a matter of fact, talking about the effects on masks and kids and not being able to concentrate or learn and all that other stuff. Experts say there's a few warning signs parents should look out for, including hopelessness, depression, and severe anxiety. I would say being isolated is a very big risk factor for kids. Feeling hopelessness, said the psychiatrist. If you know someone, if you or someone you know is thinking about suicide, I hope nobody is. Please call the National Suicide Prevention Line at 1-800-273-TALK. And to the geeks and grifters out there, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You don't need Zack Snyder. You don't need Zack Snyder to talk. To come up with a basically a charity that was funding what was it, his sister or something like that ran the charity. So usually those charities about 80% goes to quote unquote overhead. So yeah, you don't need to. You can just go on your channel and say, hey, you know what? There's a lot of stress out there, a lot of people going on. Hope I'm not contributing to it. If he has some down situations there, yeah, there you go. There's the number right there. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Oh, don't take my medical advice from Bear. When my doctor gives me diagnosis, I always tell him, I got a second opinion from a bear. There you go. There you go. That was not said by Bear. That was said by somebody else. All right. Anyways, moving on. We're just kind of going through this pretty quickly here. One reason that you might, if you watched the show last week, if you watched the show last Wednesday, you were more informed and more prepared and ready to go with the information, with the crazy edicts that came out the next day, than if you had watched the local news or the national news or your talk radio people or anything like that. Basically, you were ahead. You were ahead of the curve. That's kind of what we kind of strive for here. So, anyways, one of the things that we were talking about was some of the nurses and some of the healthcare workers that had either had the Wu flu or, for whatever medical reasons or personal reasons were refusing the vaccination, might be causing some issues with the hospitals. Everybody kind of globs on, oh my gosh, the hospitals are filling up. The hospitals are filling up. Well, if you don't have enough people there in the hospital to take care of the people, yes, they're going to start to fill up. The waiting times are going to get longer. All sorts of bad things happen. Texas hospital, this is from Just the News. A Texas hospital faces potential closure due to the Wu flu vaccine mandate. There we go. Let me click here. Excuse me, people. Oh, I'm sorry. P-Money says, yeah, when my kids spent a year doing online learning, they just got further and further behind in their studies. I'm sorry to hear about that, P-Money. Sorry to hear about that. Yeah, we are not doing the best. If you're responsible for kids out there, if you're a teacher or something like that, you're definitely not doing the best here for the kids out there. That's not a blanket statement. I'm just, all the crazy stuff that's going on. It's just that's not helpful. Especially, let's just go back to it. Keep going back to it here. Especially when you've got a 99.9973% survival rate. Or even if you're a teacher, you still got 99 points. I mean, the worst if you're a 69-year-old teacher, 99.41% chance. I would take that lotto ticket any day. All right, let's. The CEO of a hospital in Texas is cautioning that his facility is facing possible closure following the announcement last week that healthcare workers will be required to receive the Wu flu vaccine. If the mandate, call it a mandate, I'm not sure, takes effect, the Brownfield Regional Medical Center will likely lose, holy cow, 20 to 25% of its staff, the CEO says. Without those employees, the hospital will likely shut down. So that's what you want, people. I mean, if you get, you happen to catch the Wu flu, when you want to go to the hospital to maybe possibly get some treatments, if they allow you. Yeah, if you're going here in Brownfield Regional Medical, it's going to be probably closed down. So good luck with that. And that's not because of anything other than this stupid what Bear's going to call an edict. The edict here. The junta has ordered that healthcare workers who staff hospital and facilities that receive either Medicaid or Medicare funding must receive the vaccine or lose federal funding. It's huge in a rural community, as all other rural communities, the CEO says during a recent interview. We all have high poverty levels and stuff like that, so a lot of Medicaid usage in our community and stuff like that. Why do you keep saying stuff like that? Are you sure you're a CEO? How do you get your CEO thing out of a Cracker Jacks box? I'll tell you what. All right. In addition to the healthcare worker mandate, the junta also announced that it would direct the federal OSHA administration to enforce a rule for companies with more than 100. Well, actually, you can't enforce a rule that you haven't even made yet, so that's kind of silly. But beside the fact, with more than 100 people, that all employees get vaccinated. So if you're a employer out there and you have 100 employees, just fire one of them. Just, pick out, I don't know, let's just say, the disabled person, or maybe the gay person or something like that, to single them out and fire them. And then when you're sued, you go to court and you say, I would have loved to have kept this lovely person here, but we had to let the gay person go, because we need to get down to 99 people, so we can stay in good graces here with OSHA, and then watch the judge or the jury just kind of, their heads will explode on that one. Anyways, already in upstate New York, an official from one hospital said that the facility is going to have to close down its maternity unit for the time being, because so many employees resigned over former Governor Nipple Clamp's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. The mandate was temporarily halted on Tuesday by a federal judge in New York. Well, federal judges, come on, you got a lot of work going. You got a lot of work ahead of you. P Money asked, can OSHA actually enforce it? They can enforce whatever the heck they want, whether or not people are going to. I want to get to that in just a second. We'll asterisk that. We'll asterisk that here in just a second. All right, let me 1 second. All right. So we were talking a couple weeks back about about our booster shot that people are talking about. That's going to be coming up probably in a couple days. So if you're watching the show, you're going to be just a tad bit ahead of whatever talking heads are out there. So this comes from the FDA. They're trying to get what's called the can I pronounce it right here? Comirnaty. This is the approved quote unquote vaccine that Pfizer is putting out. So let's just say you are not a vaccinated person. Your employer is mandating you or going to fire you. They're going to mandate you to go get the vaccine, and we'll get into how you might be able to get around that in just a minute. But let's just say you're there. You go into the doctor's office, the healthcare facility place, and you go get your shot. Well, the first thing that you want to do is you want to see the box or the label that it came out of. If they don't show that to you, then probably get that on camera, get that on audio or video or something like that. If they refuse to show you, walk completely out of there to your nearest lawyer's office and sue the ever-loving crap out of your employer. All right. So if they do show you the label and it doesn't say Comirnaty, however you pronounce it, once again, walk out of the healthcare facility, find your nearest lawyer, and sue the ever-loving crap out of your employer. Because Comirnaty, this one right here, and you can also see the scientific name right above it, or I'm not sure if it's a scientific name or this is the actual label, and I think this is the product name, if you will. So if you don't see either of those, get the heck out of there, because this is the only one that has been approved by the FDA. Sorry, P-Money, don't know anything about the Canadian legal system, but we'll just kind of take that as somewhat similar. So if they do have that, do whatever you got to do there. But if it doesn't have this Comirnaty label on there, it is the previously emergency authorized use vaccine, which is, I'm not sure how they're technically wording this, but if they were to follow the normal rules and we were in a normal world situation, would have canceled the effect of the emergency use authorization of that stuff. Even if you're getting the Pfizer vaccine, if it doesn't say that Comirnaty on there, it's not approved. It's not approved, and you are injecting something into your body that is not been approved. So you can say no to that. Our good old friend, where's the U.S. code? I forget which U.S. code it was. We'll have to go back to it. But anyways, it's already in federal law there. Nuremberg laws there as well. So yeah, you don't have to do that. All right, let's get into it here real quick because we want to talk about it. They're talking about they're trying to come up with their meeting here. When is that? The 17th of September. So they're trying to figure out if this Comirnaty can be used as a booster. All right, why do we need a booster for a quote unquote vaccine? All right, well we've already talked about that in one of the previous episodes here. He's not going to go through all this. Believe me, there's way too much in here. But just basically, let me see if I can get this back up here. There we go. There we are. Let's see if I can get to it. There's a whole bunch of mumbo gumbo. Bear isn't going to go through the entire thing. Believe me, it'd be completely boring. Anyways, they say back on the 23rd of August, for prevention of the Wu flu disease in individuals greater than 16 years of age. So again, that goes with the students and all that sort of stuff. This Comirnaty is currently administered as a series of doses, 3 weeks apart. The vaccine, quote unquote, has been available for prevention of the disease in individuals greater than 16 years of age since December 2020 under emergency use authorizations. That went out. That's the one that went out on the 27th of August 2021. So that's the one that went out there. Let's see. So they're seeking to approve a booster third dose of that in individuals 6 months after the second dose. So why are we going to need that? Let's see. So it says they have data from the pivotal phase 3. Again, we were talking about that not too long ago. That shows that the 2 doses administered 3 weeks apart confers quote unquote protection against both symptomatic and severe Wu flu. The duration of such protection is currently unknown. However, an analysis of efficacy up to 6 months, remember, they didn't go past 6 months because we were dealing with the Delta and all the other stuff, of 6 months after dose 2 showed that the initial vaccine efficacy, they talk about the percentages here, just slightly wanes over time from 96% to 90%. And that's from 2 months to 4 months after the second dose, and then down to 83.7% for greater than 2 months after the second dose. So, once again, it kind of depends on your definition of vaccine. But if it's decreasing in efficacy over time, that might be kind of a big issue. And that's what a lot of people were getting in trouble with Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. Just wait 2 weeks and turns out to be true. Go figure. Recent data from Israel and the United States in the context of the Delta variant. Circulation suggests that the vaccine, quote unquote, protection against the Wu flu infection wanes approximately 6 to 8 months following the second dose. They do a second study, also did the same thing there, that the efficacy rate against the Delta variant was 90% early on, and then it waned over time. Let's see. I'm just trying to figure out the dates and all that sort of stuff. Bear here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Results showed that the incidence of breakthrough cases, this is if you've already been vaccinated, you're getting sick again, were higher among individuals who received dose 2 at least 8 months before their study here on the 1st of July, compared to those that received dose 2 less than 4 months before, again on the 1st of July, confirming, let's just highlight this, the waning of the vaccine efficacy over time. So again, this is why they're trying to get the third booster shot. I don't care if it's confidential. I'm taking it to the people here. So anyways, they are going back, and a lot of this is actually CYA as far as Pfizer goes. They know that they've got the approval here. They don't necessarily have the approval for a third shot because all they did was 2 shots, and that's what's approved. So now they're giving a third shot, and if it's approved, and let's just um, let's just suppose that there's some sort of response after that is very negative. Well, they can be sued. They can be sued. The emergency use has been waived, so now they are liable for any. If you watch the TV commercials with the medicines on there, half of the time it's the people and they're happy, or maybe they're sad and they need the drug or whatever, and then the other half of the movie or the commercial there is, the side effects include depression, thoughts of suicide, blah, 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 blah. That's the other half of the commercial there. Well, they need to do that to, make sure that they have that out there, for all the lawyers out there. So this is what they're trying to do here is saying, first off, you're going to require everybody to get a third booster shot. Well, we haven't even tested that just yet, and the stuff that we have tested shows that it's waning, so we don't know whether or not, the third booster, does that count for 6 months? Does it, increase over time? So now it's only 3 months, and you have booster shot number 4, and now it's only 2 months, or whatever it is. So, anyways, if you do all this and they do approve all that stuff, you're going to get a booster shot twice a year for the rest of your life. So there you go. I hope nobody here is afraid of needles. Hope nobody's afraid of needles. I'm just going to jump right into this one real quick. It's good stuff. It's always terrible when the best news about the U.S. is from foreign sources. I don't know how good the Daily Mail is as far as a news source here. I'm not really a British person. I couldn't tell you anything about that. Anyways, 26 of the 27 Lancet scientists who trashed the theory that the Wu flu leaked from a Chinese lab have links to the Wuhan researchers. Golly, didn't see that one coming. Basically, when it first started, I guess in March of 2020, people started asking questions about that. And hey, we saw this virus lab. There it is, the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Hey, they're playing around with some bats and all the other stuff. Could it have leaked from there possibly? Well, these people, came out. Oh, we're respected scientists. There's no way that could have happened out of the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Well, we came to find out in a subsequent report. No, it didn't. It didn't escape from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It escaped from the Wuhan, I forget the name of it, Animal Infectious Control something or another institute. Basically, it was the same thing just across the street. So, technically it didn't escape from there, pinky cross there. So, anyways, these are some of the people there. Oh, our good friend Peter Daszak. There he is, that bald-headed fool. The Bat Lady. There's the Bat Lady. There she is. There you are. Jeremy Farr, if you're over there in England. Make sure you say thank you to him. Let's see what's going on. Professor Linda Safe at the Ohio State University. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. I wish you would have not written in that in the Lancet and told everybody that they were the crackpots instead of towing the Chinese line there. That would have been nice. Professor Linda Safe. That would have been nice. So this is helpful to have names here to be able to maybe bring these people back and kind of ask them some questions, possibly in the future. All right. P Money was asking. Let's just round this out here. P Money was asking. What was it? Can OSHA actually enforce it? Well, sure, they can enforce whatever they want if they want to. This would be at Fight the Mandates at GoDaddySites.com. You want to check that out. It's a list of law firms that can help you if you have an issue there. We'll just go down it real quick. We talked about earlier the Liberty Council. I'll go ahead and check that out. Liberty Institute. the Pacific Justice Institute, the Advocates for Faith and Freedom. Uh, I, I really don't. I don't mind them going after the mandate based on religious stuff. They have some issues with that as far as fetal cells being used in the process of the vaccine. It seems to me it's like, okay, I want to get a exemption for myself based on religious exemptions, but are totally fine with everybody else being forced to, get it and everything. I don't like that. I wish that it would be a little bit more less selfish, if Bear could say that. There we go. Alliance Defending Freedom, the National Legal Foundation, the Thomas More Law Center, the Thomas More Society, again, the Christian Legal Society, American Center for Law and Justice, the Center for Law and Religious Freedom, the Christian Attorneys of America, the Christian Law Association, the National Association of Christian Lawmakers, and the Pacific, I think we already did this, the Pacific Legal Foundation. Oh, and these guys are pretty good. The American Frontline Doctors, Legal Eagle Dream Team. There you go. You're not going to be able to find them on Twitter, I don't think. So there you go, American Frontline Doctors. So, anyways, if you've got, let's see, this guy says, like I mentioned before, most people just do what they're told by their employer, the government, or the narrative. Sorry, it's kind of small. Beer's trying to read it. Do not know the law, so that they believe the vaccine and mask mandates can be enforced. There you go. However, this is not true. There is, when you have to push back and contact an attorney to get advice. So once again, the people that you really don't want to go to are going to be there to save us all, the attorneys. So there you are. Anyway, so it's got, and this is another nice thing, a list of lawyers by the state. Oops, there you go. Arkansas only has one, so sorry about that. No, excuse me, Alaska. Alaska only has one. Alabama, Arizona, you can kind of scroll down. California, look at there. Yeah, not bad, not bad. D.C., got a bunch of people in D.C. there. Florida, let's see. Let me read some here. Franklin John Cadwell, not familiar. Oh, Holtzman Eccles. There you go. Gilliam. Oh God, I hope that's not our former. It's not our former mayor. Let's see. Leper and Leaper, or Leaper and Leaper. There you go. Kind of surprised that there's no Morgan and Morgan on here. Oh, John Morgan, this is one right for you. I'm John Morgan. I'm going to help you out with your legal mandate. All right. Anyway, so once again, Beer tries not to do the everything's depressing and the world's terrible. No, here's a way to if something happens. Here's a way to help fight back. And once again, never want to make your first attempt as going to a lawyer or anything like that. But this is where we are at. This is where we're at. So yeah, to answer your question here, and I'll get back to the other chats here. OSHA can try and enforce. They're trying to write the rule right now. So they came out and basically made a speech, and the legal departments and the HR departments are kind of freaking out at a lot of these large companies, and basically, how do we describe this? What would be the definition of a large government forcing companies to do the things that the government is trying to do? Some might call that fascism there. Some might call that. Anyways, OSHA can do whatever the heck they want to do. It's not going to be legal in a technical sense, in a constitutional sense. So, sure, they can do that. One of the things about the legal issue there is a lot of times you have to show, there I am, a lot of times you have to show that you've been harmed. In other words, you can't just go to court and say, hey, I think I'm going to have damages in the future, so I want to sue this person right now. You got to actually have a damage. You actually have to have, let's just say, lost wages to be able to sue for or against. I don't know, whatever. So that's where you go. So again, you go to work. The employer, for whatever foolish reason, decides you're going to be forced to go get this experimental quote-unquote vaccine, or you're fired, and you say not only no but hell no, or you actually go down to the place and get check it out, and they don't have that Comirnaty, how you pronounce it, and they have the other version. They have the Johnson & Johnson version. They have the whatever other versions are out there. That's illegal. That's illegal. You can refuse that right there. Go to your lawyer and sue the ever-loving crap out of your employer. Unfortunately, it puts the employer in a kind of tight spot. Are you going to be sued out of oblivion by your employees, or are you going to stack up a whole bunch of fines at whoever does it, OSHA, whatever? It puts them in a pickle. They're basically trying to do what the government is trying to force people to do. They're basically just contracting it out. So again, that's kind of the definition of fascism. So there you go. It all depends. P-Money says it all depends on who wins our election on Monday. Holy cow! Holy cow! Yeah, you guys have a black man too running for office, don't you? Yeah, that's there you go. There you go. All right. Anyways, P-Money says interesting. Thank you for the info. Yeah, there you go. He kids in blackface. They're kids. They're kids, for crying out loud. All right. Anyways, let's just get back to not that. Get out of that. I tell you, like he said, a complete. Holy cow! How long have we been on? An hour and a half. We have. Let's see. I mean, you don't need the new Apple iPhone. I mean, we went through that. You can get a cheaper iPhone 12 and be happy with that. Some of our campaign updates here. Go check out Black and White. RT Bear needs your support. So does go ahead and give some support to Dan Fraga there. Definitely, if you can figure out all the confusing stuff that Gary Shipman is doing. Go check out the Titan color. I think he just had a sale for one day, but I tell you what, he had a head sketch for like $15. You can't beat that, people. You can't beat that. So at the very least, if you haven't checked out Titan, go check it out. You get a nice little head sketch. We talked about our grifters. Our grifters here, I tell you what, just from one week clowning to another, trying to remain relevant, I suppose. Just go out, do the Comicsgate thing. Go out, you got some great people there in the Fandom Menace. Just, contract up with them. Maybe see if you can do a short or something like that. A 15-minute Star Trek-esque, Star Wars-esque movie. I mean, shouldn't be that hard. Star Wars is dead. You can, take some liberties on there and, do your own thing. Make sure it looks pretty good there. So, anyways, you're grifters out there, I tell you what. And then trying to bring in a crazy talk show host and denouncing everybody. I tell you what. I don't know what they're thinking, but there you go. Pretty much. And then, of course, what you come here for. Hey, Apple Talk, comics. No, you come here for the Vax update. That's what you come up here for. So, anyways, you probably know more from a bear talking about the vaccine stuff than 99.9997% of all the other people talking out there. So there you go. All right, sure thing, P-Money. And you take care as well. Oh, and Jeff Potts, and also, Miguel. It's always good to have Miguel. And all the new people that come in or just kind of, wandering in, checking out, hey, what's this bear? What's he talking about? All this sort of stuff. Hey, we appreciate you guys as well. Checking out a new show and giving bear, hopefully some watch time and hopefully some likes too. That'd be nice. All right. Well, once again, we do this Wednesdays, Saturdays, and, dodging the rain showers, however it is. So, hopefully we can make it through. Anyways, thank you everybody for showing up. Hope you enjoyed the show. And once again, we'll see you next time. All right, everybody, take care. Grrrr.